Here you're going to see a debate with some Muslim experts or clerics or whatever they call themselves with Douglas Murray, who will again forcefully not to let them stop him from speaking. This is classic tactic. Once again, Piers Morgan hosting people who should not be given a voice. They're given a voice, and not only are they given a voice, they continuously interrupt Douglas Murray so he can't state the truth. And Douglas Murray will have none of it. And Piers Morgan should have mute buttons and have an agreement when there's going to be a debate between people that you're going to have to be silent. All of his debates are filled with people interrupting. Whenever truth is stated, there is an interruption. Why? They have no other way of stopping the truth from being put out there other than to shout it down. Let's watch this where Douglas Murray makes some very important points.
I'm not going to engage in a bun fight with this Islamist. Let me answer the question that Piers put to me before you try to interrupt again.
Only if you don't lie.
Let him answer, please.
First of all,
let him answer, please.
But, all right.
First of all, I'm not going to keep being talked over by this Islamist blowhard. Let me speak. First of all, your first guest treated us to the first bit of mouthwash this evening by claiming that the word jihad can mean absolutely anything. Nonsense. When a big bearded member of Hizb ut-Tahrir calls for jihad on the streets of London, then they are not calling for an interpersonal struggle with the nature of the divine. They are calling for violence. And anyone who can't recognize that should be questioned about their own motives. Secondly, we've just been treated to a monologue about casualty figures in Gaza. Where do these figures come from? I'll tell you where they come from. They come from Hamas. It's quite remarkable to me that 2 months after the October the 7th massacre, the Israelis still don't know the precise number of people murdered on October the 7th. There's a reason for that, because it takes time to work out massacres of that scale. One of the striking, you know, I just don't know if either of your guests are going to allow me a word in.
Because you are lying, and even the numbers from Israel, from the IDF, which are not accredited.
No. You will,
these are your
it's
numbers.
Really interesting hearing somebody who presents themselves as a moderate being a spokesperson for Hamas. So let me continue. They are Hamas figures. They are all provided by the ministries of Hamas, which is a prescribed terrorist organization. If you want to reel off Hamas figures, then be my guest, but you are not able to mislead the viewers of Piers' show by quoting Hamas figures at his viewers as if they are holy
I am not
writ.
quoting.
Third,
it's the Euromed.
We've been treated to this nonsense.
Nations.
We've been treated
it's the international community organizations.
Where do you think they get the figures from? Where do you think they get the figures from? Thirdly, I will continue to speak if it kills you. Thirdly, World War II. It is nonsense that what has been happening in Gaza has, as you said in this endless list of fallacies, that there has been more bombing in Gaza, more deaths and destruction in Gaza than during World War II. Do you know anything about World War II?
Almost,
do you know anything about World War II?
In Dresden alone,
take one German city. The destruction was on a scale totally dissimilar to what has been happening in Gaza.
I'm taking London.
Very interested. I'm very interested, and I will, once again, I will finish this point, even if both of these blowhards
let me ask Douglas one question.
I will finish the point I wanted to make.
I'm going to come back to you both. Let me ask Douglas one question. Douglas, specifically about the doctor.
It is very important for your viewers to hear the following definition. The definition of terrorism is the deliberate targeting of innocent civilians. That is what Hamas specializes in. That is what Hamas did
and that's
on
what
October
is happening in Gaza also.
Is what Israel is doing terrorism? No, for the following reason. And again, you can lie about this if you want, but do not expect not to be challenged about it. What the IDF is doing is the same manner of war as the British Army, the American Army, and all other armies in the civilized world. They target terrorists like Hamas, and there are civilian casualties. Yes, there are. But it is not the aim of the IDF any more than it is of the British or American armies to target civilians. And anyone who pretends otherwise is lying to the public watching.
He gives a brilliant definition here of what terrorism is, which is important for everyone to know, because we have to be able to be very succinct and clear about what is what. Terrorism is the deliberate targeting of innocent civilians. Simple. Israel never deliberately targets innocent civilians. They have nothing to do with terrorism whatsoever. Hamas lives off of terrorism. The PA supports terrorism. Jihad in the streets of London is terrorizing people. They are terrorizing, targeting innocent civilians. That's what terrorism is. It's sad that such things actually are being debated, and that people can distort what jihad means when everyone in the world knows exactly what it means.